What up, Lena? Hey, guess what? We are those motherfuckers!
Beautiful. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frolfcenter. Hey, today's the 9th of December already, dude. Episode 75. I mean, I'm Austin Lytle, Adam. Just first and foremost, before we get into anything, social medias, subscribe, like, follow, do all that fun stuff. You can win some stuff. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to help us. It's cool to help you guys,
Yeah. Also, we're also on Twitch, which is not on the graphic yet, but we are on Twitch, whatever that means. I don't do a lot of video. I play Red Dead Redemption, so nobody Twitch streams Red Dead Redemption. It's not going to happen. So anyway, yeah, please follow us on social media. And if you're on our Facebook, I think every 6 months you have to go click a thing that says, yes, please tell me about Frolfcenter Magazine. Like, it just throws us into the void. So please go click the get me out of the void button. It helps us out a lot. Cool. Yeah. Also, if you're not abreast of the situation, DeKalb Memorial is up to like 20% of the money they need, I think, 24%. So if you want to help out, go to GoFundMe, look up DeKalb Memorial Fundraiser. That's an Atlanta thing. DeKalb is DEKALB. That course should be in the ground, money willing, in the next couple of weeks.
They're doing another workday out there this Saturday as well.
Yes, workday not this Saturday, on the 18th, next Saturday.
18th. Okay, sorry.
You and I will be down at Santa Slam. We got to make a side bet on that. I got second place.
You don't want that, bro.
I don't know, bud. Mia Mosley's scary.
I got sure hands.
Let's go.
All right, yeah, my boy.
Who's the child on the right? That'd be Austin Lytle.
Yeah, I decided to shave my face because we were having the kid on tonight, so.
The kid. All right, babyface Nelson.
Yeah, so without further ado, our guest tonight is one of my, I'd call him an inspiration in the game of disc golf. I like to call it back-to-back, but he's 2010, 2012, and 2016?
He's a three-time winner.
Three-time USCGC champion and co-owner of Prodigy, Mr. Will Schusterick.
Hey, buddy.
What's up? 2014, Austin, come on.
2014.
I was like,
it should have been three-time, really.
It was close.
Yeah, right, because the 2011 was like that period where they tested out the performance flight at first, and there wasn't.
We don't have to talk about that too much.
We'll just call it back-to-back. Okay.
Call it back-to-back. It's back-to-back, no asterisk. It's just
that introduction I've never seen. I'm gonna be honest that I've never seen your podcast, but that introduction was pretty fire.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, dude. Go Braves.
Thank you. Yeah, we normally have a commercial with products on it, but I worked for 2 hours on a commercial today, and I hated it. So I'm going to work on it for 2 more days, and then it'll be on next week. But we do have new stuff. Go to the website. Yada, yada. Anyway, the first thing we always ask our guests, Will, I want to hear about the first time you played disc golf. Where was it? What discs were you throwing? Who took you? And what did you think about it?
My dad took me.
Okay.
We played at Admiral Farragut. Austin, I think you've played there. I would say it's one of the better 9-hole courses you could ever find. Is
that Farragut, Tennessee?
Admiral Farragut is the course, but it's Farragut in Knoxville.
Is it Farragut? No, it's not. Yeah, I guess Farragut's a city in Knoxville.
It's the one. Yeah, exactly. And what discs did I throw? I threw a DX Valkyrie, which was like the bomb back then. That was
completely unneeded for Farragut.
2000, and it was the end of 2005. And I remember on hole 4, I hit a forehand from like 60 feet, which felt like 400 feet away at the time when I made it.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't see me make it. And I put my hands up and I was like, I just made it. And he's like, no, you didn't. I remember that perfectly. And
yeah, And then
we learned that people threw discs in the water behind hole 6, and then we would jump in behind hole 6 and find discs. And then
scavenging stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then a couple months later, I started working at Pluto Sports. That was my first job. And I would work there, and I would basically just buy discs. Yeah. And I remember first run destroyers came in with the big star stamp, like 3 or 4 boxes of them. And that was the first super fast, crazy disc at the time. And I think those discs are probably worth like $200 now a piece or something.
I was gonna say that box is like it's a retirement fund at this point.
Yeah. I remember that perfect. They don't have the location anymore downtown. Pluto's had 2 locations back then, but I remember that. Remember the course. I remember I used to throw an X Stratus, Valkyrie, DX AVR, and then I had just a handful of discs. I never really got a bag.
You were like 5 disc guy, something like that, yeah.
I was the 5 disc guy, yeah.
Nice.
No sandals, but a 5 disc guy.
5 disc guy, no sandals. Okay, tell me about the last 18 you played. How did it go? Where was it? Who are you playing with?
The last 18 was I practiced at Edwards Park, which we had to cancel the tournament for this weekend because of thunder and rain, and that is going to happen.
Yeah,
I think it's
but
very
it was the first round. Yeah, first round I played since USDGC, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been a
while. Played by myself. Tried to just get through a round, play, throw a couple shots, putt a bunch, and just kind of get used to the course a little bit. Weekends are, obviously I like to spend time a little bit more with family as much as I can. So I just wanted to get through a round as quick as I could. And was good, felt good, threw decent, I would say. And always have fun going out to the always have fun going out to the course. I mean, I can't say that I didn't have a good time.
Do you prefer serious practice to be alone or with somebody you like playing with?
I think the person I play with has to be very, very specific. Mm-hmm. And it can be really fun, but also like at least take your shot somewhat serious. I don't know if I've just played tournaments enough that I can't super goof off all the time. Like it's really hard for me to do that and have that let's just goof off the whole time mentality. I like to play around and I like to have a good time, but I have to be a little serious. Like something has to be serious.
On the side that UDisc is running, I'm going to ask you your score at the end.
If you think I use UDisc to keep score,
no.
I love UDisc, but I don't ever keep score when I'm playing around.
No, gotcha. You know it. You know what's going on. Yeah. At what point during playing disc golf did you realize that you wanted it to be a majority part of your life?
Pretty early. I mean, honestly, I would play juniors at the Knoxville Club. And if it wasn't for the Knoxville Club, there's no way that I would be where I'm at right now, because I would show up every Sunday. I'd be the only junior and they would give me a disc to play. They would just give me a disc. So I would play, I got a DX Rhino from Nate McCoy, who used to run the club back in the day.
Oh, Nate.
And Nate's the man, and he would give me a disc just for playing. And Pluto's gave me a job, and they offered us to bring in the discs that I won to trade out for other things that I wanted to try out, which they wouldn't do for anybody. But we would go in there and supported him and traded him out. Give me a disc to come and play, and then I started playing up and started playing with Chris Orrick a bunch, who was the best player in Knoxville back then. And then I played, which is kind of crazy to say, but I played the Memorial as my first PDGA tournament in 2016. We just flew out to the Memorial and played, and I got 4th in intermediate.
Were you a PD? Did you sign up a week before, or were you a member before that?
I signed up, or my dad signed us up as soon as we started playing.
Okay, cool. He was just let's go, gung ho.
Yeah, we're just in. Yeah, we're just in it.
It's 2006, right?
Yeah. 2006. No. So you can look it up and see the people that played that. I have a signed disc from all the pros that were on the lead card back then. And it's pretty classic to look back and see the players.
Do you still have it in the collection?
Yeah, I still have it. I have a picture, a black and white picture that when you're looking at it, everybody's looking down. What's the famous water hole at Vista? I don't know the numbers now because they changed, but it's the downhill one with the basket on the other side of the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with the palm trees.
Yeah, it's a black and white picture. And when you look at it and you know who's in the picture, you can see Feldberg, Climo, Barry, Brad Hammock, Chris Sprague, Steve Rico, Steve Brinster, Dean Tannick, all these people, but you don't really know who they are because you kind of see a little bit of their face or a little bit backwards. And then I'm in the back holding a disc and a Sharpie, and I'm like 4 foot tall with glasses on and just like watching them. It's a really, really classic photo.
That's awesome.
That's
what we need.
The other one too that was there. Yeah, it's a really classic. I'll try to find it.
Yeah, we need that posted.
That's amazing.
It's a classic photo. Really, really good.
So I mean, you took that the first Memorial tournament. I guess the big tournament kind of really brings you in, playing like a super organized event, right?
None of those C-tier shenanigans. Yeah.
Took that and won at USDGC within 4 years of playing.
Yeah, we went to watch the USDGC in 2006, and so the main thing that I used to watch that I tell people nowadays, they don't even know what a VHS is in the first place. But I used to watch 2002 VHS USDGC, and you probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. It's got to be the best disc golf video that's out there. I mean, if you take that and put it on YouTube, like it's uncomparable.
With Greenwell on the commentary?
There was no commentary.
Oh no!
This was prior to Greenwell.
Yeah, it wasn't round footage. It was Barry versus Kenny the year that they had the playoff.
Oh.
It is. Okay. You have to look it up. You can probably buy it on Amazon, I'm sure. And it's going to be
you can watch it on YouTube at this point.
The struggle is going to find the VHS player to play it.
Right. You got to go to like 3 Goodwills and see which one works.
Yes, exactly. It's only at Goodwill. Yeah. At this point, Goodwill sells brand new VHS players everywhere.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a Hot Topic. Hot Topic's going to be all over it.
But I tell everybody, like, if you get into the sport, like, watch it on a professional level, and you will want to play for the rest of your life. There's no doubt on it. Once you see what it can actually be, you don't have to be that player, but you can see what it is, like the level of play. That just really takes it to a next level. Really does.
Yeah.
So you then went on to win the USCGC in 2010, 2012, 2014. Which of the 3 was your favorite?
I mean, it's hard to ever say that the first one's not your favorite.
Correct.
But then the second one, I was not favored to win, and then I won. And then the third one, nobody thought that I would ever win a third one, and then I won the third one. So it's kind of hard. Each one has a little thing that's in it. But the first one, I did win. I hadn't won a tournament any bigger than a B tier at that point. I won a B tier only, B tier and below. I had, I think, 15 wins that year. And came in and got top 2 or 3 at some A tiers, but never won an A tier. Never beat Ken Climo at any tournament when 2010. And my rating was like 1,009, maybe 1,012 during the event. I think it updated or there's some back when they had like 3-month ratings updates. It would take a long time for the ratings. Now it's like every week you have a new rating that comes out.
Oh yeah,
just that dude smoking cigarettes in the basement at Appling, trying to figure it out with a calculator. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's as soon as you play an event, your rating updates, and I was 1,006 or 1,009 rating whenever I won, and never won anything besides a B tier. And then the next year, 2011, is when I just hit the road and played every single event that I could drive to. I wore my car down. I think I drove back and forth across the country between 2011, 2012, 15 times.
Wow.
Geez.
Yeah, it was a lot.
What's the worst state to drive through?
I mean, there's about 6 in a row when you go from Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota.
Just that whole flat stretch.
When you go from Tennessee to Portland, Oregon, you're hitting just about every state you can think of all the way up. That's a long way.
And this was at that point, this is pre-iPod too. So you're just like burning a tape out, burning a CD out. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to flip through the Rolodex of CDs.
Yep. You're just cruising down the road, and that's pretty much all you got.
Yeah.
What was the most memorable shot? I want to say from each tournament at the USCGC each year. Do you remember them?
So 2010, I made a 400-foot.
Yes, the throw in.
Call it field ace, throw in, whatever. That's the year they had stroke and distance. I was on hole 12, threw my tee shot, landed, threw my second shot, went OB. And at that point, like if across the tournament, if you go beyond that second shot and you have to rethrow, it's double bogey almost immediately.
Right.
or more if you don't get that third shot in bounds. And I remember making a champion Excalibur, which I still have. Zach Newhouse gave it to me. I remember making that, and there was no footage back then at all. There was no like live footage or post-production, nothing. It was like somebody got a picture of me throwing in 2010. Like that was
your
it.
face, like, please go in.
Yeah. Nowadays they like film you walking to the next hole, and that's like there's no step of the round that's not filmed. 2012, I had to throw in. Let me think about that one. I think I had to throw in on hole 2. Maybe that was 2014. But I also had a long distance shot made. I had a long distance shot made in each year, and then 2014 is the one where I made it on hole 2 for eagle. That's for sure where I made it there. But each year, my craziest stat of that each year is that I birdied hole 5 and 13 every single round, every single year.
All right.
So if you're taking notes on what to do.
Yeah, there you go. That's if you can pull it off. This is the method to go with. So you have been with Prodigy from before the beginning of Prodigy. Basically, you were in before the ground floor. Can you give us a little history about what you were doing when Prodigy first started, and what you're doing now with Prodigy, and how that all came to be for the folks at home?
Yeah, I didn't do much behind the scenes when Prodigy first started. I mean, being, when they gave shares to players, the idea was that everybody was going to grow up and really push it hard because you were a part of it. Like it's a part of you growing up. And so I've always felt really attached to stuff that I want to do well. And Prodigy is something I've always wanted, just to be the best or to work and strive to be the best. And I think that's what's kind of the challenge that I have now is that, I love to wake up every day and go to work to try to make Prodigy the best disc golf company in the world. And that's how I was as a player growing up. And then, we launched 2013, came out with 2 discs, a lot of scrutiny because we signed all the top players that we could really put our hands on.
Yeah.
And a little polarizing at some point. And then, you look at now, it's kind of like where disc golf is, paying players and trying to sign players and making a big deal out of that. But as being a player and kind of got to a point where, I could travel and play and be gone from home for 25, 30 weeks a year pretty easy. Or is it something to where I like to be home? I like to see family. Am I going to travel and play for my entire life? Would I love to? Yes, but it's probably not realistic while also trying to grow something that's becoming just a beast of what's going on. And so in 2017 or 2018, my wife and I decided to move from Nashville to Dalton, Georgia, where Prodigy bought another warehouse. And so when we did that, I started working much more full-time. And then Trish, my wife, also worked full-time. I got heavily involved in the sales side. My wife did a lot of like customer service team stuff. And then, we were the first people in the building. We would sit down on Uline chairs, sitting in the corner with no Wi-Fi, running off our phone. We've seen almost every machine come in. We've seen almost every disc come into the building. We've seen it kind of grow like crazy over the last 2.5 years. Just pretty wild.
Yeah. That growth is something kind of unique in the sport. And we talked to Dylan Holt a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, but he didn't have all the answers. You might be able to fill us in a little bit. You guys are doing some overseas manufacturing unique to Prodigy. Some of is it the Ace Line stuff that's being made overseas? I want to know, can you tell us a little bit about that? What made you make that choice? And then also, I had heard from somebody else, and I want to mention them, but the QC over there is unique to a Far East American company working over there. You guys have people on the ground over there, right?
Yes. So, that's actually our company. And so that's, of course, gets really convoluted because when you tell somebody that you have a manufacturer that's in China, you just assume, okay, you made a phone call and made some discs. And that's...
You sent blueprints over, right? Yeah. That's what they say.
That's just absolutely not the case. There was a lot of R&D, and I've been over there and visited the factory, and it's really similar. They obviously make great discs, and everybody there is Prodigy. Everybody, the building, the discs, the plastic, everything was designed by us. It's not other people's property that we're, OEM stamping and then doing something else type stuff. So it's I don't know really how else to put it like that, but I mean it's us but there, you know, and they're obviously a lot different of a country. They have a lot different regulations. They have some huge advantage over what we have, and of course they're much more worldwide centered to be distribution all over the world, you know. And so Prodigy, we're obviously a worldwide company and do a lot of stuff in Europe, a lot of stuff in all these other countries, and so it really it's just a positioning factor too, as well, to have a place that can make discs and send them anywhere.
Right. You guys have always been, you've never been afraid of being overseas. You have a pretty huge footprint in Europe as well. So like China is the shipping capital of the entire world. I mean, that's everybody comes to China. Are you guys dealing with supply chain issues right now, either in China, Europe, or here, or all three, or?
Yeah. I mean, everybody in your brother is going to figure out, is going to, it's the world we live in right now. And I tell people you can see it when you go to Walmart, because there's people that just have, you know, they had a stat the other day that 9 ships are off the coast of California and 1,000 containers are actually on each ship. Yeah. If you do the math inside of what's inside of that, it's pretty unreal.
It's enormous. It's probably like 15, 20 Sam's Club, you know, whatever it is. That's great. I can't get a DX polecat for less than $35. I know something's wrong, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's affecting everybody. You know, it's just kind of how you work with it. We're lucky we do make discs in 2 different places. We make discs over there. We make discs in Georgia, and we're lucky that we do that, because. But
they are for the customers at home. They are different. You know, it's the Ace line that gets made in China. Everything you buy here, that's D3, D1, M4 is all made here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What's the 5-year plan for Prodigy? Like, what do you see happening in the next 5 years for you guys?
It would be pretty hard to really forecast 5 years from now, because looking back 2 years, there's no way we could have forecasted 2 years to be here. You know, a lot of it has to do with the sport, and almost anybody in disc golf. The rising tide raises all ships, and the way that the pandemic has really exploded the sport, with people being outside in a way and being able to be with friends, and parks are still open, and all of that stuff. Is that going to happen again? It's possible it is. And if it does, disc golf is only going to take another jump, you know. And what does that mean for all of the companies that are in it? It's not like we're selling shoes and there's 1 trillion shoe companies that are out there.
Right.
Where there's not that many disc golf companies. Whenever you write down on a piece of paper how many manufacturers there are that sell in the US and Europe, there's really a small amount.
It's like a handful, basically.
Yeah, you're talking about a small amount. So I mean, it raises everybody in what's going on. So I mean, I would say that if you ask somebody what their 5-year plan is, you can definitely plan it out, and we do have a plan, but that 5-year plan can be reached in 1 to 2 years. You just never know what can happen.
Shoot for the moon, land among the moon, I guess, at this point, right? You know, just set the goals high and see how much higher it goes. Yeah.
We'll dive into the PDGA DGPT later on.
Yeah. Somebody asked.
But, so I mean, on the line of the Prodigy name, the naming structure with Prodigy. I mean, just for somebody who's an outsider looking in, who obviously doesn't know Prodigy. I mean, I know that we went through with like the simplicity aspect of it, but explain to people like what's the Prodigy naming structure.
Yeah, and I would say the Prodigy naming structure is the only one you can explain to somebody in 45 seconds or less, and they actually can go to a store and buy a disc for what they're looking for. You know, it's pretty simple, of an acronym and a number, and the acronym being F for fairway, D for driver, A for approach. It stands for something, and every disc across that line is going to feel very similar, but fly differently, and the fly differently is the number. And the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 being the most overstable, more advanced to pro level. The higher you get, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's going to be better for lower arm speeds, or it's going to be something that you want to turn a little bit more right. So you grab a F5 and you realize, oh, this is really straight, slightly understable. I need something a little bit more overstable. I'm going to try F3, F2, F1. Oh, I need a roller. Okay, F7 seems like a great disc for a more of a turnover, or I'm going to get somebody into the sport. F7 is going to be a great disc, lightweight F7.
Correct.
Nice.
And I mean, we've started like deviating into like the maxes and stuff like with that. With
The max.
I mean, I've even seen it on the new PX3 that we've got flight numbers now.
Yeah. We couldn't run forever. We were eventually going to get caught. And so a lot of people, and you know, the number one thing for me and all of our job is feedback, you know, feedback from dealers, customers, players, new players who have been around forever. And, you know, I'm not an advocate of flight numbers. I don't really know what flight numbers are a whole lot, but the new player, when they come in, they look up how to pick out the right disc. The first thing that comes up is you have to understand what flight numbers are. And so for us to put on the disc, we're not going to really lose a whole lot. And I think that people are going to get attached to the Prodigy naming system in the long run. You know, when they see M4, M2, A2, that kind of stuff, I think they end up grabbing onto that long term. And then the flight numbers might be short term. Hey, I'm going to look at that. I always make the joke that there's no way you could tell me what your favorite disc flight numbers are right now.
Correct. No, because that once that favorite disc becomes beat in, it's no longer a 12.503.
Or if it's a 165 instead of a 175.
Yeah. But when you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, they're selling flight numbers. They're selling, hey, flight numbers are what you should use to pick out a disc. And if they're picking out an Innova Discgraph dynamic disc and they're looking at the flight numbers and Prodigy doesn't have that, it might be a deterrent for a newer player. So
I was going to ask if this was a sales point thing, because I think that the average person working at Play It Again Sports for $11 an hour is not going to be able to explain a disc that says PX3 D1 Max unless they have something to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's basically the answer to it. You know, there's we're always trying to take feedback and adapt and move and get better. And, you know, flight numbers could be something that really does help us. It could be really simple and obvious that we should have done from the very beginning. And then we do it and everybody's like, okay, well, now it makes sense.
Disc golf's learning curve.
I think that's the better though.
And disc golf's learning curve is so fast and people get addicted so quickly that if they need to figure out the flight numbers, it's a Google search away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna extrapolate that information because they're gonna get addicted to the sport.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Good.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yep.
And lastly, but not, I mean, this is definitely the last question I have to do with Prodigy. What's the story?
He wants to know what his contract is next
Ask
year.
everything you want.
I've already asked you so many questions with Prodigy. It's not even funny. But I wanted to ask a question for the fans and for the followers. What's the story with the X1 and why doesn't it exist anymore?
The X1 is designed to be flat and extremely overstable, like the most overstable you could ever throw.
So it's kind of like Excalibur sword. You can only pull it out so often.
There you go. Yes. So it's not about a mold broken or something that's anything like that. It's more of maybe you could call it plastic process to make it flat and super overstable. We're not going to come out with Domi X1s. We will eventually come out with another X1. Is it something that's like, would you rather have an X1 or another type of disc? It's always a comparison. You can't do just everything at one time.
Correct.
Everybody asks for the X1, but as soon as we come out with the X1, they'll say you should redo the X2.
Right.
and I mean, that's just the world we live in. It's never going to change, but we will eventually come out with a new X1, and then people will say, I love this X1. Where's the old X1?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like we've got some stuff on the horizon that could be just as good. So who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
It's every disc manufacturer has this issue. I need the Vulcan top Wraith. I don't need the popped, it's that.
All that bullshit.
All that stuff. Okay. So you kind of rose to prominence. It's about a decade ago now. You kind of burst into just being like the dude, right? But a decade-ish. A decade's good.
It makes me sound
bro. We've had Stokely on.
Old.
You're good.
I know.
We had Stokely on. But no, so in the last 10 years, what's the biggest change in disc golf, both in the culture and the industry, you think?
It's without a doubt the following of the sport, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like the discs are nearly the same. We had the Wraith when I came out. There's not faster, there's not better flying discs than that. Than a disc that is like that. There's a few more companies about making discs. There's not a lot more, but like we just said, there's a couple more.
Yeah.
The following of the sport has grown more than anything, without a doubt. And following up the players too. I mean, I remember, not to be that guy, but I remember being the only guy with 10,000 followers as a disc golfer on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like 10,000 followers. You're just like, what are you doing? You know, you need to be promoting yourself more. You know, everybody who's out there and playing now, winning a C tier, has 10,000 followers, making blogs, posting online, picking up sponsors, doing all these things. Like, the following of the sport and the players has changed more than anything easily. I mean, it's just something, you know, the people that are watching live footage, showing up to watch practice rounds.
Oh yeah.
You know, that never existed. That's even crazy to think about. You know, people showing up to watch practice rounds.
Is this the new class of pros? Are they getting it? Or are they missing the mark somewhere? Are they all good? Have they figured it out? I mean, is there an easy mistake that like a new pro's making that maybe the old pros weren't making?
I mean, it goes back to how disc golf is growing, just period. You know, if you're out there playing and promoting yourself on a decent level, disc golf is growing so fast. Your whole stock is going to go up. Just at this point, just be in front of people.
Yeah,
really, just be in front. You don't, and not against anybody, but you don't have to be a great player to really have a following, sell signature discs, to have people sponsor you, you know, and be what's almost like a. I feel so old.
Ambassador, right?
Yeah, like an ambassador, like an Instagram person that just promotes. You know.
Well, I mean, yeah, there are companies that are doing like social media only sponsorships. They're teams that are just literally like, you have great social media, you're rated 880, but social media is good, so we'll put you on this flow team, is what they call it in skateboarding. You know.
Yeah, like we have the street team. We have the street team. We have 400 people on the street team, and that's where it is. Like, that didn't exist. You know,
it's a marketing team is what it is, basically.
Yeah, you were sponsored by Innova on the tournament level team and got like 40 discs, 50 discs. It was like that's not even a thing anymore.
Doesn't even translate. Yeah. What do you think about? I see a trend toward these multi-manufacturer contracts. So if you got people working or playing for Infinite, they're playing for OTB. Or, you know, I know it might be a dirty word right now, but EV7 pulling away some folks for putter-only contracts. Are these multi-manufacturer contracts going to be the new norm, you think?
I mean, coming from the other side.
You don't want it. My real question was, are the manufacturer wars going to get uglier because of that stuff?
I don't think it's going to get uglier. I think that there's a huge gap between let's talk about 2010 player sponsorships and 2020 expected sponsorships.
Oh, okay.
There's a massive gap between there, and you know there's a lot to be said that I'm not going to say on the podcast because
fair.
You know there's just a lot to be said that it's just a little outlandish sometimes, and you know I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, I think everyone's trying to get a seat on this
Dylan's fault.
You know, everyone's trying to get a seat on the rocket ship, and the elbows are moving a little bit now. You know,
so the thing is, the sport's growing so fast that you're getting people to come in and realize how much potential there is if you can get your name on a player and get some promotion and get some marketing. They're going to fight for their name to be on players. They're just going to do it. Like I said,
NASCAR style.
You don't have to be a great player, but if you're a promoter and you can get product that's out there and be a good image and do that kind of stuff, the companies want to come in and they're going to fight for people that are good.
Yeah.
Now,
good.
Is there a such thing as like we're like outgrowing the sport, like overgrowing the sport? I guess is the term I'm trying to say. Like, are we moving too fast to where like the marketing and everything can't keep up? Or do you think?
I don't know if it's keeping up or if it's going to be forced to keep up, because that's where you know, if you have 5,000 people that show up at an event, how many times are you going to have 5,000 people at an event without it being on national TV?
Right.
Correct.
You know, like, how long is that going to happen? And it could be just a crazy amount of growth. It could slow down. I don't really think it's going to slow down, but it could be like from 5,000 to 1,000 people. I only think more people are going to go out to watch tournaments. So if you go from 5 to 8, where's the sponsorship money? It's not just going to not be there forever. Eventually, somebody's coming in. ESPN's not going to do 2-month-old coverage. They're just not. They're not doing that anymore. They're doing live coverage because they realize how many people will watch live coverage versus the old coverage, people already know what's going to happen at the tournament.
Right, and that leads us into like what the DGPT is doing, and Mark, what's his name? Jeff Springs. Yeah. And like what Jeff's doing with the DGPT, do you think it's a step in the right direction? Like with them taking over like most of the PDGA big events?
Yeah. Big events have to become
prestigious.
They have to become prestigious almost every other weekend, and that's more than a full-time job to do that kind of stuff. You're going to get thousands of people at each event, and that's live, not counting live at the event, not counting people watching.
Correct.
Online. So you put that into a 15 tournament tour, 15, 20 tournament tour, whatever that is. And that's going to get to a point to where there's going to be another tour. There will be another tour like that happened in golf, that happened across everything. So, again, it just is growing so fast. Nobody can really control how many people are going to be coming in, watching, trying to show up. What happens when USDGC turned down people? They pre-sold all their tickets at like $50 to $75 a person to come watch.
Right.
And I couldn't even get close to the lead card at all. They're going to start having sectioned off areas where you pay to get down closer to the rope, or they're going to have, you pay to come in and park, and then you can walk only on a certain path.
It's like Duke with the Cameron Crazies. You have to have a ticket to get into that section of the basketball arena.
Yeah. And then the maybe the scary part for a lot of people is maybe it's going to get too big. It's not going to be the disc golf we all love anymore. It's going to be paying $100 to go watch. And that's going to be
pimento sandwiches, pinkies in the air, Chardonnay,
but Augusta National. Bring it on.
Yeah. But if you love disc, and the reality is, if you love disc golf, it's almost
you're going to be there to support it the 100% way through. Yeah.
You're going to love it. You might be at home watching. The tournament could be going on down the road, but they're going to charge $100, $200 to come in, and $200,000 to the pro purse.
But I can pay $20 and watch it on my computer from home. I'll pay $20 and watch it on my
computer. $45 for the USDGC though. Just
why not?
That's the other thing. There's going to be so many growing pains because people are just used to free, mm-hmm. and they ask you for $20 and they're like, I'm not doing that. It's like, if you really love this, and I say it as in like if you I don't mean to say it as in you really love disc golf, but if you want to see the sport grow, you want to see the numbers continue to go up, you just have to be in the pool of people and just say, I'm just going to do it, bite the bullet, and
buy one less Tour Series disc and get the coverage.
Right. Yeah.
But one less Tour Series disc from any manufacturer except for Prodigy. Buy those. Cut out your TV.
Right.
Yeah, on Prodigy, and then just hold on.
Cut out your get freaky zones, everybody. You hear me? I'll say it again. Cut out your get freaky zones. Get rid of them.
So here's an interesting hot take. Do you think that we've outgrown Winthrop University, Mr. Three-Time?
Well, see,
could you see the USDGC going to somewhere else?
It's hard to see somewhere else that has better spectator areas.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see the wooded disc golf be left behind. You can't how are you going to bring 5,000 people? And I love Hornet's Nest. Okay, I'm just saying it because everybody watched the footage.
What are they going to do? Stand in the water with like waders on hole 2?
How can you bring 5,000 to 10,000 people out to a $100,000, $200,000 pro purse and watch?
It's like you're reading the script. So my next question is literally, at the USCGC, they change everything every year. Not everything, but they change something every year. And it's usually adding more difficulty. Does that mean disc golf is more pure in the woods? Because you have to add, is disc golf a pure sport with more obstacles than less obstacles? And if that's the case, are we doing ourselves a disservice by catering to spectators?
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I know, and I'm asking you.
You're asking a USC, yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking you. What's your opinion on woods versus wide open?
For me, and just...
He's all about the people.
I'm all about disc golf growing to the highest level it can be.
Yeah.
Disc golf can only be so high if you're limiting the people that can watch.
Gotcha.
They're not going to pay $100 to go watch if they're fighting 20 people back staying on one side to see if
see 5 holes.
To see Ricky Wysocki hit a gap.
Right.
No, they want to be lying down the fairway of hole 6 at USDGC to watch his disc fly, to see if it skips, to see if it sits on the sand, to see if he makes the putt. That's what they all want to see right there. And that's going to be where it is. It might be easier for the pro disc golfer because it's an open hole. So slightly overstable, slight anhyzer, comes back, slow skip to the sand. You can throw it 9 times out of 10, and the 10th time only because it skips off the rock that's in the sand.
Right.
It's just going to happen. It's going to be a little bit more boring of disc golf unless you have really like super elevation golf course. Super elevation, the fake out of bounds. Some people don't like it. It's going to be a part of the sport. There's probably going to be something else, even though people hated the fish sticks at the USDGC. They tried something. To make it more difficult. I don't love it. I'm not an advocate for it, but there's going to be other things like you land in a pit of diamonds and you can't run up. There's going to be something.
The floor is lava, guys. The floor is lava.
Yeah. There's going to be something like I don't want to say it out loud.
You don't want to go too far. The other issue is going to be that in 10 years, these courses like Hornets Nest or W.R. Jackson will have budgeted in. We can get 100 people in here, but cost of living goes up. We need to get 150 in. You're going to tighten the fairways. Somebody's going to get hurt. Then there is a law of diminishing returns on cramming people into a course for sure.
Yeah. And you can actually, a really good example is when you go from 7 to 8 at Rock Hill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin knows, he's been there. There's not many people that's going down the fairway of hole 8.
You can't.
And the rest of the group's like, I don't know, to go to 17, to stay on 16. I have to walk all the way around the baseball field.
So that's where you put the beer cart, right? Everyone's kind of
that's where the beer cart would be if there was for spectators.
And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Go ahead.
No, you got it. It's on you on the course.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so we're talking about kind of like course design, like wide open versus like wooded courses, and I know you for yourself have designed and successfully installed several courses in Georgia, Tennessee, anywhere else.
That's good.
Okay, how many courses are you up to now?
I think
Can you
I'm
keep
close
track?
to 10. Yeah, I think I'm close to 10. Maybe I kind of keep track. I have a little list.
Okay, well, I've got like 1.5 on my name.
He's got
like
9 holes at Mosley. He's really proud of.
You
Yeah.
could say you're
and
professional.
18 out at a ball golf course, and I kind of like to call it 1.5. It's good,
Okay.
and I've got great feedback on all of them.
That's why it's good. You did a good job.
Is there anything that like drives you up the wall when you go to play like random courses that you have like no intel with, you're new to, but you see things like, for instance, for me, out at the Tennessee State Championships, it's Cherokee hole. You're throwing back at the playground. It just drives me up the wall that I'm throwing at a playground. Like I'm literally aiming at you know what I'm talking about? I think it's hole 8.
Yeah. I would say the thing that gets.
I literally aim at the slide and throw a putter as hard as I can, knowing I can't get it there, and it's going to dive at the basket.
Yeah.
But
I would
the fact
say
that I'm
so
throwing
I
at a
did-
playground drives me up the wall.
One thing that makes a lot of people mad that doesn't make me mad is like when a branch is in the middle of a fairway or like in this area, because it's not necessarily course design. A branch could have grew in, or the person who designed the course could have designed it 4 years ago, and they don't come back to cut the branch. I don't.
Right.
So I give that sometimes a pass. Sometimes what gets on my nerves the most is when you have this piece of property and they try to use a piece of property for a course that does not fit in the property, or
Correct.
it's this beautiful 60-acre piece of property with giant trees, and they try to
They
make
only
a
use
par
30
3.
acres.
Yeah, they try to use a par 3 of it, and a lot of people say like, how do you design a course? And for me, it's what is the land? It's all about the land. You can't force something in a 20-acre piece of land to make it championship level. It's just not going to happen. If it's 40 to 60, you can make a really, really great course, counted that it's not an L shape and it's a nice square, boom, ready to go. But forcing things is something that I think gets on my nerves the most. Trying to make it difficult when it shouldn't be difficult It's okay
God,
to
I
have.
love that answer, Will. I love that answer.
Yeah. Do it right or don't do it. Yeah.
Forcing holes to if a hole should be easy, it's okay to be easy. There's people that need to be there to play an easy course. You don't need to have this perfectly straight fairway and then the basket's off way over here somewhere behind a tree that now instead of throwing a beautiful tunnel shot, you're now throwing a flex forehand to try to get to the basket.
Right. And another thing for me is when people ask me to come survey these properties for and help them along with their process of the designing of a course, it's I have to get out of the mindset that I'm not designing a course for me. I'm not designing a course for 3-time Will Schusterick. I'm not designing a course for the average 10-20 rated, local pro. I'm designing the course for everyone. And
Yes.
it can't all be 400-foot hyzers or sidearm hyzers in my instance.
Right. And sometimes that's just how the course lays out. And if it does, it does.
Correct.
I believe if you go to a property, there's really only one way a course can work. At the end of the day, when you go through everything, there's almost only one way a course could work. Start on 1, try to have 10 near 1, 18 near 1 and 10, to where you can play 9 or you can start on 10. Safety, flow, you find the right basket placements.
Bathrooms, yeah.
Yeah, all those things. And it's you could really come up with a checklist of hole 1 near the parking lot, hole 10 near the parking lot, ideally, so you can play front 9, back 9, hole 18 away from 1 and 10, but still somewhat near the parking lot to be quick access to your cart. Nobody likes to walk a long distance and do these other things, and you'll get more people to play if they know they can play 9 on one side or the other. Especially for tournaments. If you're starting on the back 9 or the front 9, it's walking distance no matter what.
That's also how you get your course beat in with local action. Is being able to send people out to multiple holes on a local action day. I've noticed you've done a great job up there at Westside and Edwards and what's the ball golf course?
Pasture.
Yeah.
And the people here love disc golf. I mean, Whitfield County is just amazing when it comes to putting in courses, taking care of them. They put wood chips around tee pads every 2 to 3 weeks, and they don't call us and say, "Hey, I'm going to go do this." They just go do it, and it really is almost laughable because they had zero courses when we first moved here, and they were sold on disc golf, and they said, "Yeah, seems like a good idea," and now they're all advocates of it. They play, they want to make the course better, they show up to do course maintenance. I mean, it's really a dream. And so when people come in, they're almost playing a golf course at a disc golf course. It really is not to be this huge selling point to come to Dalton, Georgia to play disc golf, because you should, first of all, because the courses are great, but they do an amazing job.
Especially if you need some carpet. If you're looking for carpet and you like disc golf.
Flooring.
Yeah, flooring.
Not just carpet, it's flooring.
If you need some
flooring, yeah. We just went up and picked up 2,500 square feet of AstroTurf in Chatsworth, so.
Nice.
While we're on the subject, before I go, Jason Light's comment: open courses do not show the true adversity of shaped shot. That in a way limits viewership.
Jason is not wrong, but
I don't necessarily agree.
You don't necessarily get shape shots. Let's say we're talking about hole 6 at USDGC. There's not a ton of shape shots. Yeah. A lot of people know.
Throw any shaped shot.
Yeah, the true art to disc golf of watching is, for me, a beautiful hyzer flip that goes to the left, flips up, comes back to the right of the tree, flexes back. That's beautiful to watch. You could just turn it on and probably watch 100 of those shots in a row. And he's not wrong to see the true artistry of a shape shot, but that I think is going to be something that people just don't even know what it is. You don't watch people throw hyzer flips anymore. They throw forehands 500 feet. Hyzer flip's not a shot that people throw.
In the woods a little bit, sure.
Yeah. I mean, they just don't throw those shots. And
but even then, they still dare throw the sidearms.
Yeah.
Or force them.
Yeah. People want to see long distance throws and watch the disc fly. And when it comes to the woods, it's hard to watch the disc fly. When you're talking about thousands of people, 5,000, 10,000 people, they're not lined up on a fairway watching it.
Is this the like street skater getting mad at the X Games thing though? Is this like the guy? You know what I mean? Is this the guy who's like, I'm gonna go kickflip down 12 stairs, but the X Games wants me to hit a ramp? You know what I mean?
That's pretty.
I'm gonna go hit the 1080 on the big air.
You know what I mean? That was this Tony Hawk versus Josh Callis or somebody. You know, some underground Stevie Williams. You know, something like that. Is this Tom Penny versus Tony Hawk? Is that what we're talking about right now? I don't know.
Adam, that's too deep for this.
Too deep for you guys. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
bad.
No, we're not skaters. All right, let's get into a little bit of some fun stuff. We're winding down. Will, who would you say would be your favorite foursome? Three other people on a tournament round, championship round. Who would you want to play with?
That's kind of hard. I mean, it would honestly be more of like local friends that I would play with versus I guess.
Okay, that's more of a casual round. I want to know who's on your Mount Rushmore. Who are you actually going to be in awe of playing with? Because I'm sure there's not many.
In awe of playing with.
Well, who were you in awe of playing with when you first played with them?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a better question.
It's the proper phrasement.
In 2011, I will say, so I'll put Nate Doss on that list. Okay. 2011, when we were talking before we went live, that I had a really good year. Top 4 at every NT, top 4 at every major. Nate Doss beat me at every one. He beat me at every single one, and he had and if you look up his stats, it was just an incredible, unreal year that he had. I mean, it was unbelievable that what he played. So I mean, of course,
didn't you win the Worlds in 2011?
I think so. Yeah, in California.
Yeah.
Remember? Yes.
Yeah.
And that was, he has to be up there on that list. I would love to say Ken Climo, but I never really played that much with him. Never really played a bunch with him.
Everybody used to call you Little Climo for some reason, but I never really even saw it.
What? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just say
real
fun players.
Okay, we got real fun questions. I asked this of everybody.
Wait, that was only 2 players. I need 2 more.
Oh, you need 2 more players. I'm sorry. I thought we were going off there.
1 more. I need 1 more.
All right, we'll just go with the nowadays. I would say Ricky.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I would say Ricky. I've always liked Ricky's style, and I think that he's the best putter out there.
Good vibes,
Climo, Ricky, Schusterick. Yeah. I'd pay money to watch that card.
Oh, you think Ricky signs with Innova? I can't ask that question out loud. That's a rumor. I'm not going to ask that question out loud. Anyway, so so we normally ask our guests. They're usually sponsored players, not co-owners and shareholders and employees. But we asked them, if you had the keys to the factory, what would you make for yourself? You do have the keys to the factory, and if nobody was looking, what would you make for yourself?
They've already been made.
Yeah, I was going to say. More X1s? Yeah.
I've actually really enjoyed the PX3.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got that disc coming out in a bunch of other plastics. We made it in 500 plastic today, which is an amazing feeling. Yes. I knew Austin would like that.
I've been asking Dylan when the premium plastic's coming. I'm like, dude, I can't get enough of this 250, 300, whatever plastic this is. You sent me.
Austin, for your podcast, I will donate a 500 PX3 and a new D2 Pro for you guys to give away.
To my bag. Okay. Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that, guys?
I will give away a 300 PX3 and a D2 regular to whoever's listening
from the stash. Yeah.
No, for real. Comment something of Will's. Give me something to give away, Will.
What do you? I just gave you something.
No, let's.
Yeah, but why? What are we giving it away to? I need a comment of. What was the highest earning tournament win in 2011?
For Will Schusterick? Is that what we're going to say? No, we're just asking him to Google. Let's do something fun. I like that. I like that answer. What's your answer? The highest Will Schusterick win in 2011, the highest cash? I'm looking it up. Okay, you guys figure that out. Let's go with Austin. Hit the next question. I'll figure out this 2011 Mr. Schusterick.
I mean, they can leave it in the comments later, and we can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, 2014 USCGC. Where did you go to celebrate afterwards? What was the celebration meal? Or 2012, 2010, whatever it was.
2010 and 2012, I'm pretty sure I went to the same Japanese restaurant, just like.
I kind of figured it was going to be sushi.
I don't think I went. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think I went like downtown Charlotte or anything crazy. I mean, in 2010, I was 18 years old, so it's not like I'm going too crazy.
Yeah, not going to
strip club or anything now. You're not going to Magic City. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably went to like a Nike. I think I went to the Nike store the next day or something like that. Like going crazy, man.
Yeah, was that what year was that?
2010.
So you're getting like the Nelly Air Force Ones or something? Yeah.
With the Band-Aids on the side of the shoe.
Band-Aids on them, yeah. That's TLC also, I think, too. TLC, I was like, okay. If you could play...
No, I never got a celebration. Oh, yeah, that was Chinese. Okay, got it.
Yeah, Japanese food. Okay, if you could play a doubles round with any celebrity as your partner, alive or dead, who would be your celebrity doubles partner?
Dang.
Ooh.
Celebrity.
I should have gave you this question to think about when you were asking me about questions earlier.
It would have to be like a sports person. I mean, growing up in Tennessee, Peyton Manning is just, you have to put Peyton Manning as your Lord and Savior. That's just how it goes. And so
oh, the Peyton Man thing.
You bleed orange in Knoxville, and that's I would love to play a round of disc golf with Peyton Manning.
That'd be fun. A Manning cast a round of disc golf with like Jomez would be really good.
That would be
actually Ace Run Pro. Let me say Ace Run Pro because they're watching. Yeah. Adrian Frere, you are correct. It was his second place at Worlds. It was $3,750. Mr. Frere, who also last week we played a video. The first throw with his PX3, he aced silver to silver number 2 at Oregon Park. So,
doesn't this kid work for you?
Yeah. So it doesn't count.
No, he's not getting any discs.
Get out of here, Adrian. You actually
count Adrian. Adrian's gonna get him anyways.
He's gonna get him anyway. Okay, we're gonna put something up on social media later about how we're gonna win these. We'll get him to send to you. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
So, what is your guilty pleasure walk-up song? I'm just gonna say walk-up song, not just song.
My guilty pleasure walk-up song?
Yeah.
Or just guilty pleasure song.
What are you
the
singing
song you put on the car that nobody sees you listening to, but you rock out too.
Oh man, I listen to so much different music. It's just hard to.
What's the most embarrassing thing? Yeah.
I won't lie that for some reason a new Taylor Swift album came out and I know all the words to 22. So
please don't tell me that you're falling in love with somebody else.
Corey Nicholas, who might be watching, is really happy right now. He walked up to Sunday service one morning and goes, "You guys hear this new T Swift album? It's fucking banging." I was like, "No, it's not, dude. It is not." But Will Schusterick says it's not. I believe it. That's good.
I know all the words to it. I don't know what else to say besides that.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine. Who is the GOAT, both MPO and FBO?
The greatest player
of all time. All time.
Everybody's argument is Climo versus Paul. It's kind of hard. You can't compare. And when people say LeBron versus Jordan, it's like there's no really LeBron versus Jordan. The games are not the same.
Jordan broke the game, and LeBron learned how to play Jordan's game. That's what happened. It's a numbers thing at this point. But
yeah, the sport is just not the same at all.
What's your gut? Yeah.
You're just trying to make me choose right now, right?
I'm just trying to say, like, what's your gut go? Like,
I'm trying to make you choose.
I am.
Just say some off the wall like Felberg or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got. Did you say between the two, right? You're not saying somebody.
No, I'm saying, well, who's your GOAT? It could be Ron Russell. You could say Ron Russell. You could say anybody. Yeah.
I mean, Scott Stokely.
To me, Climo is hard to beat. I mean, 12 world championships is tough to beat. But again, the sport we play now is not even the same thing that he plays. So
yeah, I'm not even saying if they played against each other, we know what would happen. I'm saying like the historical most impactful player. How's that?
Yeah, Climo dominated everybody.
Yeah. What about an
for a long
FPO?
time. Elaine King is also pretty tough to beat on that.
All right, I mean, it's her and Schwebby, and she beat Schwebby to 300. So
Yeah, she's got a lot of wins. Like it's kind of hard, Elaine and then Juliana. Because I also kind of look at the greatest of all time as somebody who changed the game. Not necessarily was an amazing player. Don't get me wrong, greatest of all time.
meteoric impact, yeah.
But also the impact that Juliana brought for the professional level of the women's side.
How awesome was this resurgence for her in the last year? That was real fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's back to what we've been talking about the whole time. The sport has grown so fast. A lot of people are and it's I'm right on the edge of like saying, man, I wish I was 2011 was now, because it would
back out there. Yeah,
it would make a big. There's a lot of people watching, and there's money to be made if you're a really good player right now. But there's also a lot of people who are playing. It's not just 4 to 5 people who might win a tournament.
No, you've got 30 people who could be in the top 10 every week, it seems like. So, yeah.
There's still a pretty big YouTube channel out there with young Will Schusterick throwing discs across downtown Nashville. Just saying, for anybody who doesn't know.
I remember I used to love making YouTube videos.
Dude, I used to love watching your YouTube videos. Like when I first started, I couldn't get enough.
Yeah. I have dreams of waking up and making more videos, and I'm like, no.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. Maybe
young
Liam will be a part of the next ones.
Yeah, come on up. We'll do it.
Yeah.
So the most important question of these fun questions is, what is the Waffle House order for Will Schusterick?
Waffle House?
Yeah.
I know, you're such a fancy fucker. You don't even go to Waffle House. You go to a bagel shop or a coffee shop and get just a pastry and some coffee.
That sounds like me, bro. Watch it.
I would go only waffle.
Yeah, waffle with some black coffee.
I would be plain waffle with some syrup. I would also get some eggs as well. I wouldn't deny some eggs. Waffle with 2 over easy eggs on some toast.
And you would ask for avocado and be told no.
We've had some good quotes on the show. One of them was when Kat told us that Nate Sexton not doing field work is why he hasn't won anything. But I think fancy fucker Will Schusterick might be my second favorite quote of the show so far. All right, sorry. Will, we're gonna play a little game with you called Dope or Nope. We're gonna say 6 things. You're gonna say whether or not they're dope or nope, and you do not get to explain your answers. They live in perpetuity as Will Schusterick testaments. Okay.
Okay.
6 things. The first thing, dope or nope. People who make disc golf carts out of baby strollers. No.
Nope.
Okay. No. Purple.
Yeah.
Purple dope.
Nope.
Okay. Butter on a roll, since we just had Thanksgiving.
Oh, dope.
Dope. Brody Smith.
Say it again.
Brody Smith.
I'm gonna go with dope.
That's good for your followers on Twitter. Visors.
I'm gonna go nope.
Oh no, that was my plan for the fall or the spring. Ball golf.
It's becoming nope.
Becoming dope.
No, becoming nope.
Becoming nope. I'm gonna put it in the middle. Real quick. This is how we keep you completely betrothed to us. This is the blackmail right here, guys. Don't forget it. There we go.
Are you gonna send that to me?
I can. Yeah, I can definitely send that to you.
Okay.
Not like in the mail. I'll
Definitely post it to our Instagram as well.
Oh, okay.
I'll send it to the media manager at Prodigy. They can put it on Twitter for you. It'll be good. Yeah.
Great content.
Great content.
Yeah. By the way, who is the media manager at Prodigy? We need to talk to them next.
For what reason are you asking, Austin?
Just in case we wanted to ask some questions.
I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Is someone doing it? Do you guys need someone? Because I'm real funny on the internet. I'm just saying.
No, we have several people that do that stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's like a community. That's cool. That works.
Sure.
Okay, so it's not one person's fault. All right, so
you guys, this is Inside Baseball, everybody. Tune out. This is Inside Baseball.
Will Schusterick, thanks for coming on. Even though you've been under the weather, dude, I've really appreciated it, and this has been a fun podcast. I look forward to the next one, man. You got any questions or advice for us here at Frolfcenter Magazine? Frolfcenter?
Maybe I'll write you a review on Google.
Oh, yeah, do that. We don't have any.
Please do. We don't have any yet, so
yeah, it's
great.
good.
Leave a 5-star.
There you go. 5-star.
Yeah, we have. I mean,
you played the new Call of Duty yet?
I have not yet. It came out last night, and
yeah, if you didn't have Vanguard, you couldn't play it.
Yeah, we went to dinner or something last night with some people that were in from out of town.
Okay, it's pretty sick. Look forward to seeing you on there.
All right, Will. Thank you for coming on. We're going to let you go. It's been over an hour now. We do have a New Year's Eve show on Friday, New Year's Eve at 7:30. We're asking people if they want to come on for like 5 minutes and do a quick toast with us at like 7:30, 7:40. We'll hit you up about that if it's possible. That'd be awesome. Other than that, man, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to put you on the big screen. Tell people what they need to know. Tell them goodbye. Tell them how to follow you guys. Tell them how to support you, all that good stuff. So thanks again, bud. It's all you now.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Follow Frolfcenter, presented by Frolfcenter Magazine. Watch the podcast. Thanks for the people that follow and support Prodigy. Follow and support myself. Play disc golf. Love people. Don't eat at Waffle House. I love Waffle House, but try to eat something different.
I cannot believe we're letting them end on that, but it's fine. Thank you, Will Schusterick.
That is so Will Schusterick, like to not eat Waffle House.
God, we've been trying to get a Waffle House sponsorship for a year and a half now, and Will just blew it for us.
Yeah, we're more likely to get a deal with where does he go? The Earth Fair. He goes to Earth Fair
Sprouts?
and Sprouts. Yeah, that's Will, man. I've traveled and stayed with him several times, and like every time like we ever stay together, it's like we got to go eat organic and eat all these fancy foods, and I'm like
that fancy fuck Will Schusterick. That's my new favorite
greasy good is what I need.
But if Creature Comforts would like to send us free beer, that'd be fine.
Or Sweetwater.
I mean some Georgia brewery, for the love of God. You want to say goodbye first, or me?
Thank you guys for following and subscribing to Frolfcenter Magazine and Frolfcenter. If you're not, it's shame on you. Please do so. I'm Austin Lytle, and you may see me next week. You may not. But either way, if I don't see you, happy holidays, and we'll see you on New Year's.
Just got a comment from a viewer. I was watching with my family till the vulgarity started, and then I tuned out. That makes sense. I would not tune in again if I were you, honestly. I'm Adam. Thanks for watching. Next week, we have a guest. I was waiting on a confirmation before I announced it, so we're not going to announce it. See you guys later. Bye.
Shoppers, can I get a fucking oh yeah? Thank you.